Yes, thank you, Chair, and thank you, Commissioner, for your words. I much agree with you, and I am grateful to the Commission for the work it has been doing in this area. I would also like to extend my gratitude and my respect to the people on the Greek islands who have shown immense responsibility and humanity in meeting the refugee crisis, and I think others should take an example from that. Now, Commissioner Avramopoulos said we cannot have a repetition of last year, and yet we seem to be having that repetition. And the point is here, we do not have a, let's say, a technical, practical problem. It's not that people are stuck on the islands because there are no boats and planes. It is the direct result of political decisions taken by the national governments. And of course I cannot hold the Estonian presidency responsible for all the member states, but it is an absolute disgrace that on the richest continent in the world, we are worried about whether people are going to make it through winter. Because I can't remember the exact figures, you mentioned all sorts of figures, but we're talking about tens of thousands of people. Are we seriously saying that there is a practical problem for 500 million citizens in the European Union to somehow provide decent shelter to a few thousand people? Honestly? It is an absolute disgrace. And all the talks about deals with unsavory regimes, that's just escapism, distracting from what should really be done. Now, there's been a very decent proposal by the European Commission sitting on the desk of the Council for a year and a half. Parliament has done its homework. And yes, we represent different political views in this House too. It's difficult. But you know what? In the treaties, there is no longer the unanimity rule. So if the Council is pretending that it can only decide when there's unanimity, it is actually violating the treaties. So I suggest that the Council gets on with it and that we get this asylum and migration policy up and running as soon as possible and make sure that the most civilized and prosperous continent in the world is actually going to give civilized and dignified shelter to people in need. Thank you.